Hello, welcome to another episode of The Qualified. I'm Jedi Johnson 22, joined as always by the great Don Tober. Take a bow. The always steady Styx Boy 73, bad to the bone Brucifer, and pulling the strings, pushing the buttons, goes Doolin. What's going on, fellas?
What is up? Too much. Not too much. Snowy, sick. That kind of week. It's that kind of week.
Yeah, let's chew the fat a little bit because I think we're still waiting on the Hot 10 to end. Those boys talk way too much. They need to just.
That dumbass with the beard on that show won't shut the hell up.
Which one? There's three guys on there with beards.
No, there's only one with a real beard.
This fake ass beard you got, man.
Wow.
Come on, man.
That was shots fired.
I'm beard shamed.
Meet the groom.
That's just scruff.
So what's going on this week, Joe? What we got on tap for today?
We got a little X23 character spotlight. Got a little barbershop talk about some events going on this week and how those affect pop culture and our opinions on them. We also have some movies from the 80s that were turned into children's cartoons in the late 80s and 90s. So we'll run through those as well. And
those guys are still talking. I can see Marco's lips moving. He just
goes.
He has to get the gab and goes. And goes.
Here we go. They're rotating now.
All right.
I didn't think we went on that long on that one, but I guess we did. And we got a nice little X23 character spotlight tonight as well. So
Nice.
So it's gonna be, well, now my dog's howling outside. It's just one thing after another. Who wants to do it? We got any pickups going on?
I got pickups.
Yes. Dom.
Let me this week.
There.
All right. Do it real quick. No comic pickups, but I did get a couple of goodies that I got in the mail. And to start off with a badass card that I got from Nemesis Prime. I was able to pick this up from him. A graded 10 Boba Fett card. Congratulations. It's like a...
Who graded that? What company is it?
It's graded by Certified Quantity Company. CGC. CGC. CGC.
That's a CGC?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay, I see it now. I think that may be the first time I've seen one of their.
I know this is the first time I seen it too. I didn't. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I've had card slabs from them from Pokemon stuff before, but they look just like comic slabs. Those different.
But
cool.
this is badass. I like
Pretty
this
cool.
card. This card holder for this graded thing. I graded a 10. Thanks, Nemesis. Appreciate it. Got that. Was able to get a couple of packages that arrived on my doorstep. Well, on my floor. And I could always just drop it across the floor. Fine. I could always use more Boba Fett droids. The other one flew on the floor. I'll get it later, but got two more. Autograph purposes. These are not the real thing. These are definitely freaking made up ones that are like bogus ones, but it's like a second printing.
The customs?
They're fake.
Yeah, the custom.
Fake. Fugazi.
Look,
it's a Fugazi.
The only thing that
Get
makes
that trash out of here.
If you look at this with the real one, is that you see that little
One of them fake foils from Mexico.
I don't care. Autograph purposes, I don't care.
Hola, amigo.
Hola, amigo. You
Those
got it.
Fugazis out of there.
I got a little something from Super 7. And pretty badass. Super 7 has those ultimate ultimate figures. They had like G.I. Joe ones. They had Cobra Commander, and they had also like Mumra. They had a whole bunch of them, like Thundercats. So I was able to get the Soundwave.
Nice. Know how much you love Soundwave.
No, yep. So pretty badass. Two head scopes. Remember,
Nice.
comic book, you see the head scope that has no mask on it, that actually was a thing in the comics back in the day. So pretty cool. I like that.
Now you know.
And now you know. Whoops. I'm going to keep dropping things all over the place. Entertainment Earth. I got ice. A couple of things in Entertainment Earth, and only 2 things, which I'm very surprised that they put them in a big box. And
We're surprised it's only 2 things too.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. So I got my girl, my favorite new girl from the Ahsoka series, Shin Hati. Yes.
Nice.
Shin. I love Shin.
My girl.
I love her. I wish she could shin me anytime.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's it.
I can't with Dom. I really can't.
Come on, see, that make your day.
Do you rub your palms together and make whoopee?
We need a.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love you. I love you too.
Yeah.
How big is your force?
Yes. Your sport's as big as mine.
They used to call that getting Tanya Harding, but
Yeah.
HR.
All right. Hey, I got some things I need to
you can look
clear
first.
some space.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
Throw me up on the big.
You got it, buddy.
All right. Got some Vampirella came in.
It's my man. I've
Did
corrupted you appropriately.
Gonna
You
keep.
did.
Well, it's
Big
slowing
time.
down, but these came in. So I have the. This is Amanda Connor, I think. The 1 in
like
60. Because Dynamite has those weird ratios. This is a Perillo, 1 in 35.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Another Perillo, 1 in 10.
Man knows what he's doing.
Another, I believe, yeah, this is Perillo
Bad
too, but this is
influences.
just a regular cover. It's kind of a weird one. Kind of her back is got the wings coming out of it, and I don't know who that is. I need to find out who that dude is with the Two-Face there. This is one that I've been after. It's not that it's an expensive comic. I just, for whatever reason, because I'm a Greg Horn fan, so this is Greg Horn. One of his older covers.
Nice.
And I meant to look this up before because I can't remember who it is, but it's one of those. You see a lot of these lately. These magazine style comic covers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That they
Yeah, I like
come in
those.
all the different colors and stuff. And I don't know who this is either. This is a zombie Vampirella. It almost looks like what's his name? Brown? I can't remember his name, but I'm not sure who it is, to be honest. And then lastly, it's been a while. So these have been sitting over here waiting on me to show. I actually won these in a Whatnot giveaway. I think there's actually four of these, but we got Vampirella, Draculina,
Nice.
Sheena, and I
Sheena.
believe there's also a Red Sonja, but I don't have that one. It didn't come in the giveaway. So I guess if I'm a completionist, I guess I have to find the Red Sonja at some point and finish the set. But that's all I got this week.
Cool.
Alrighty. I guess I'll pop up here. So
Good stuff.
I guess first off, I want to show. Let me put this bad boy up here. I got an amazing gift from Stepford Wolf with amazing packaging by Astro. It was a hand-painted mini Planet Comics 52. You can see the quarter there, so you could see it to scale. It is absolutely the most adorable thing ever.
What do you use to paint that thing?
Damn, little brushes.
It was absolutely amazing.
Oh wow.
A great little Gemini box. Still getting used to my new lighting here.
It's either shiny or too shiny.
Yeah, shiny or too shiny. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, there we go.
Uh,
So you got a little Gemini
Wait,
box.
did he ship it in that little Gemini box?
Yeah.
No, it
pretty
was
cool.
it was shipped in a
He
slightly
shipped it.
larger,
He
slightly
shipped it
larger
in that.
box, and then shipped in that.
That's like
But
that's
it
like
was
getting lost.
Listen to me.
Jeez.
it was by far one of the favorite things that I've
They
gotten.
lose my
in, I don't
packages,
know,
but that little
forever.
son of a bitch made it all the
Listen,
way
they
there.
ship
So
that would never get lost in the mail. Only big packages
is-
get lost in the mail.
It is.
Yeah.
It is absolutely awesome. It's one of my
That's
favorite
cool. I
issues
like
of
that.
Planet Comics, with a cover from my namesake Joe Doolin. So I was very happy to get that amazing gift from Stepford and Astra. And in terms of pickups, I got some Joe Chiodo. Speaking of Sheena,
Nice. Marvel fan.
some Lotte, Betty and Veronica. Deadly Class, third print. Deadly Class #1.
How many prints that went?
I forget how many it went. Back,
I don't know. I can't believe
back
no
with
one
the
picked
image
that
was
show up.
crazy.
Yeah.
Some more Joe Chiodo. His
That's a nice cover.
covers are
Okay.
amazing. Some DC Bombshells, Ravager.
Yay, Rose.
Oh, Futurama newsstand.
Nice.
Futurama.
Some Greg Land, Domino.
Actually, I seen that they just posted that book up on Instagram, and I like it. I like the homage because it has the circles. With the,
Future Quest. So
Bill,
good.
Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
So
I love Space Ghost and I love
That
Sienkiewicz.
was all right.
Let's see, got some Brian Boland Wonder Woman, which I always love.
That's what Dom does with his Funkos. He makes
Yeah.
them roll.
what happened? What I didn't hear that.
Some more Brian Boland, some Gen
Nothing.
X.
You know I can go back and hear that part.
but you won't.
Picked up a couple DCUs for Bruce.
Yay.
Nice.
Nice DeCall, Jessica Jones cover. Some Ebaz, The Fly.
Nice. Bubich.
And nice little Detective 336, which is Retcon's Zatanna story.
Oh, you picked that up
Nice.
right away after you.
I had been waiting for it, and then it just came like 2 days after the show. So
Cool.
here we go. That is what I got. Thanks again to Stepford Wolf and Astra. I
guess it's my turn.
eternally thankful.
All right. We have Wonder Woman.
Settle in, folks. I'm still waiting on mine. Oh,
Now-
that was got the header.
How many times you get that book?
No, so they took the Nord's cover and they put it on what, Wonder Woman 5?
Yes. So I got
No,
4
overload.
Wait a
copies.
minute. That one's got the trade on it, right? So that one's
So they did spot foil. Is it full foil or spot foil?
It's spot foil.
Oh, good. That's what it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
This
waiting
is,
on my versions to show up.
this is great. I love this. A little family portrait. Ultimate Spider-Man. Got 2 more Ultimate Spider-Man. Superman 10. Bermejo. Regular cover.
You hear Bruce for dropping that? That's all part of his pressing process.
Yes, it is.
Just drop them on the floor.
Superman Lost. They're fine. G.I. Joe 301, 302, 302, 303. Is it?
Now, stop getting those books, man. You're not. That's not your thing. DC's your stuff.
I read them, unlike you, Dom. The 1 in 10 Superman. 125 lyrics.
That's your style.
Oh,
These are
that's
GI Joe and
fine.
Transformers to me. That's it.
Justice League.
Oh, have you ever
versus-
read G.I. Joe since the 80s?
Very true.
No, that's not true.
Justice League versus
85.
Kong. Godzilla #4.
Actually, last year.
Rebel Moon. Sketch.
Oh, is that out already?
Yeah, they sold
Okay.
out actually. They're going into other printing.
'Cause it's such a.
That
Is it
cover has
better than
more-
the?
The cover has more exciting action than the
Is it better than the movie?
live action series.
Green Lantern 7 with Sinister Suns on it. Deviant number 3. Deviant number 3.
I'm behind on that. I gotta pick up the pace and read.
X-Men number 30, part of Fall of the House of X. World's Finest 23.
World's Finest had some good covers this week.
Yeah. Titan 7.
Did you get the Bermejo cover?
No.
Oh,
I forgot.
that was the best Titans cover.
Nightwing 110. A little.
I love that.
I love this. Freaking Damien is a cat. Amazing Spider-Man 42. Wonder Woman 5. Green Lantern War Journal number 5. Corporal Commander number 1. I'm waiting on my foil, damn it. I love this cover.
It is good.
Back from CGC.
There you go.
Yeah, there's only one book higher than this. That's the 9.8. This
No,
is
duh.
there's only one 9.8. Are you a bastard? This is the only one on the census at an 8.5, which is crazy.
Nice. Oh, that book. So many people beat the shit out of that book. Nobody was putting that away and bagging and boarding it.
And there's only 2 above this one, which are 2 9.4s. There are no 9.8s or 9.2s or 9.6s in this one. Nightwing number 1 DCU. These freaking so hard to find. And then that black freaking spine.
8.5, that's below your standard, man. Get rid of it. It's garbage.
For this cover, this is above standards, buddy. For this cover, above standards. Bastard. You know, do some research over there. That's all I have for today.
I do research all the time.
We're barely into the show, and Bruce first called Dom a bastard like 6 times already.
I know,
That's
right?
not a good sign.
I know. I don't know. You know, that's what we do.
You got anything, Styx?
Not for me this week. Next week, probably.
It's like Styx in another universe. He's like staring at the screen.
All right, before we forget, let's go through, say hello to the chat, and then we're going to move into the good stuff. Not that our chat aren't good or anything, but GT flooding the airwaves with emojis. Thank you, GT. Appreciate it. Number 1 as usual. Ed, what's up? What's up, fellow nerd? Right back at you. What's going on, Ed? Tommy, it's Friday. We made it through another week. Have a good show, fellows. We did make it was a rough start to this week, but it's almost over. Hello, back to Pierre. What's going on, Pierre? Nice. Bri, what up, Dom? You don't care about the rest of us. All right. Terry, what's going on? Back at you, Terry. Hey, it's happening. Cosmic. Nemesis has the good stuff. All right.
Yes, he does.
That.
You got good stuff, man.
You can find him at your local street corner. Astro, what's going on, Astro? Astro showing Joe was showing the goods of Astro and his lovely wife earlier. We got Terry. Let me show you something. Don't ever say that to Dom. Don't ever say that to Dom.
He'll take you up on it.
Yeah. Tyson, what's up? What's up? Retrell, what's up, everybody? Hey, Retrell, hope you have a great weekend. Hope your week was fantastic. Degrassi. No, there's no way Warner's Legendary isn't considering animated Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong DTV features, making me real nice. Right off the bat.
That'd be nice.
That would be awesome.
Degrassi.
That would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
That's a great read.
Repair Tech Tony, evening gents, happy Friday, back at you. And Weed Richards, I still love that name every time. Rock on, right back at you. All right, let's get into it, Joe.
All righty. Well, let us get into our fun outside looking in segment.
All right. We have first up Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the 2099 variant. About 20 plus sales. The sales were between 30 and 35. If this would have been another week, this would have been on the main list, but because of the A cover and black suit cover, this is on the outside looking in.
If you didn't catch what Pete did on this image,
Mhm.
this is actually the 2099 variant, and it's the regular suit variant with the minimal trade dress combined in the image. So actually both are on the list kind of in this spot today, because these two are basically trailing the A cover and the black suit cover.
I want the black suit cover. That's the one I want. That's the only one I want.
Mine's just coming.
So
You're
yeah,
a son
you
of a bitch.
Hey, damn you bastard!
So,
I don't
so
sleep
these are
on
new
those
drops,
ratios.
right? These are
Yeah,
new
they came out.
drops.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I like the covers. They seem like they're a little like seems like every like Spider-Man cover we get kind of looks like this. But what's
The
going
story
on
has
in
some
this thing
buzz.
again? This is a #1, obviously. So there's some heat because of that. And this is a first appearance of Ultimate Spider-Man?
And it's not a first appearance.
No.
It's just the first page of a brand new story
It's the
Yeah.
start of a new
All
Ultimate
right.
Universe, if I'm correct.
and a brand
A
new
brand new start.
start to
Yeah.
something new, which is actually a lot of people have been talking about this book.
Mm-hmm.
It actually sold out in a lot of places, and it's doing good.
It's a good read. So that's kind of why it has more buzz than anything else. I mean, Spider-Man is always the biggest mover for Marvel.
Thank God
anyway.
BK's here. We were a little worried.
You know, like I mentioned on the top 10, Peter, Mary, and the kids' first appearance in the Ultimate Universe is actually Ultimate Invasion #1. But if you want Peter on the cover first appearance, it's Ultimate Invasion second printing.
So, yeah, I'm here for the
Like I said,
Green
the
Goblin.
Look at
the book has
Brucifer
heat.
throwing down the Marvel info.
What? I have like 15 long boxes of Marvel books.
I don't know
He's
if
a
I
liar.
trust
He's
you
a liar.
though.
PC.
I don't know if I trust him, to be honest. Don't know.
Jeez. All right. Next up, we have Cobra Commander #1, the 1 in 250 Mac variants. There were a few sales. They were sold for 300 and 310 above ratio. Usually these high ratios sell below, but this is actually
course.
selling above.
Because everybody and their brother wants the same book that everybody wants all the time.
Was that even a sentence? Come on.
Yes, it is. I said
Okay.
no because
I
you
love
have all
I love
these-
David Mack covers.
That's a
all
sentence
these,
that chases its own tail right there. I
You
don't
have
know
these non Cobra Commander and GI Joe fans trying to go for a book that everybody else wants. That's why
It's impressive just to see sales.
You want this book,
of,
Tom? You want this?
This
I
ratio.
want it. I like Cobra
Yeah.
Commander.
I think
My LCS had it for $264 before it came out.
Oh, that's not
I
bad.
think there was someone that sold it bundled as well with the other
Yeah.
covers for $350.
Yes.
So
See if they still have it.
just to see it move is kind of interesting in this market. Some of these higher ratios and stuff like that aren't coming out the gate hot or really having that many sales.
Yes, that's
And-
please hit me up.
For 1 in 250 to have even just a few sales right out the gate is pretty impressive. People
Yeah,
like this book.
this is going to be hard to find.
Well, you see, the funny thing is that this one's on the looking in, right? Look outside looking in. The 1 in 100 is the one that's on the top 10.
because
No,
that's the
'cause-
one that's moving volume.
Yeah, because it has
Yeah, Cobra Commander and freaking Megatron. That's why.
Wow, you
Well,
sound confident and it's like you own it.
No, I
That
want it.
very few people are going to spend over $250 for a new release book.
And that's why this
Um,
book is going to actually go up in value a lot more because it's going to be hard to get. How many?
Maybe there's a lot of Marvel 250, 500 variants that are selling for like $200, $100 on the list. I mean, out there.
So my LCS still has that, but it was $272. That was the price. $272.
I
That's just so
would
much
wait.
damn money.
That's not
Or-
bad. It's still above ratio, which is,
Let me ask you a question.
I guess, to be expected this week.
$250 that you spend on this book. Say 300, right? Wouldn't you want to get yourself a copy of a book that is
At the car
hard to
payment.
come by?
It's a car payment.
The book?
That's
It
the
is.
age. question, Dom. I mean, that's the question that every collector beats themselves about the head and shoulders about is why did I spend $300 on this when I could have gotten whatever? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
You know,
I'll
I
give you a
will
little.
say
don't torture yourself with that question.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
I will say this that between the amount of store variants that are out there are a lot of these 250 ratios out there
Mhm.
because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't go overboard paying for this high prices for this book.
No. And I'll give you a little insight into my collection. If they're one of these 200 ratio type books, it just becomes a screensaver on my laptop. So I ain't spending $250 for a book.
Yeah, I was kind of suckered in. I don't want to say suckered in because he's very talented, but Mac, when I first saw some of Mac's stuff, that when I got more and more into different artists, I was kind of the Moko effect. I was really taken to it. I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's kind of different, pastel, watercolor, blah blah blah. But it just seems like a lot of his stuff is just
Repetitive.
That's a great word. Yeah, repetitive.
Yeah, he
kind
has,
of the same.
he has periods.
Cookie cutter.
He has periods where things feel very similar, but like his White Tiger covers are great. His Jessica Jones stuff is good. I don't know. I like Mac, but I know what you mean. He can tend to be stuck in a groove of this is the style that he's really stuck with right now, and seems to be putting out. But
yeah. All right.
unless it's moving, what we got next?
Next up, we have Ultimate Invasion #1, the cover A. There were a dozen sales going for about $10. This was a $7.99 cover price, I believe, or $8.99. This is the first appearance of Peter, Mary Jane, and the kids in this new Ultimate universe.
Yeah, like I said, the second print has the cover, and the second print is the one that seems to garner the premium. So,
yeah, I was about to say, there were a lot of covers for this, probably like what 6, 7 for this first printing. So I don't know how many people went out there and bought all these covers. But.
Yeah. Like I said, there can be some Ultimate Spider-Man heat. I mean it's already getting a second print, and people will be chasing the second issue. And
normally, I mean, I shouldn't say even with this one. I mean, I don't know if I'll go out and get it. $10, not. I mean, that's relatively achievable.
Yeah,
I'm kind of I always like the team up covers when you have a bunch of the kind of the team up. A lot of the characters on the cover. This one, I was going to say this would almost look like an homage, but I think you could probably say that about a lot of these covers where you have team ups on the cover. So I don't know. It kind of looks like an alien that
Miles always looks like he wants to put his balls on somebody.
What is that character in the front with the alien?
Maker.
That's the Maker.
That's the Maker. Okay.
Yes, Reed Richards and
Mr. Fantastic.
Reed Richards. That's all it is. Evil Reed. And this is the second printing, which is a homage to was it Amazing Spider-Man 50?
Spider-Man
almost
no
kind of.
Spider-Man No More.
Kinda.
Walking away.
Yeah. Well, Kingpin.
All right. Next up, Catwoman 61 and 150 Nakayama variant. There were a handful of sales. The price went up from the beginning of the week from 50 to selling to 60.
Yeah, so this is selling pretty much around or a little bit above ratio for the most part. For a 1 in 50, that's not bad in this market, the way things have been coming out. So, you always see pre-sales that are always at or above ratio, but once it comes out, you tend to see those prices go down a bit. But it's had a few sales over, so
this is not his best Catwoman.
No, but it's not bad though. It's better than the blank background Nakayama pose.
Right.
He has on a lot of the other books.
I agree. Nakayama and Arjun need a long vacation.
Yeah, this Nakayama Catwoman, she has a very strong jawline. I can give her that. Very like square jaws.
She's got a very arched back. What she's got.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
I don't
don't
think
know.
anybody will be looking at her jaw.
That's cute. I don't know.
Some people will.
I want more out of higher ratios anymore. I get disappointed when the higher ratios. Like I understand a 125, they'll have throwaway art on it sometimes, but if you're asking for a 1 in 50 or 1 in 100, make something special. It just it's like this could have been an A cover, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
But like you were saying earlier, Nakayama does a lot of the, unless I'm getting my artists mixed up, he does a lot of the, he'll draw the character, but he'll have like a pretty solid black background, like a red or a yellow or blue background with just the character up front. So this is a little different. So when I first saw this, I liked it. I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And then I still think it's pretty cool, actually. Even with the
it's not a bad. I've really enjoyed most of the Catwoman covers in general with this run so far, and I like that they mix up the artists. So,
is she stealing the plutonium from Doc Brown?
You go back in time.
And final book one outside looking in is Exiles #3, the 1 in 10 variant. Only 2 raw sales. But a best offer was accepted for $90. Then an auction ended for about $172. That's a lot for this cover.
For a
and that was there were a lot of bids on that auction as well.
Yeah, there were, I believe, there were 54 bids on that auction. 54.
Yeah, I mean, just Peggy's back in the spotlight now that you got Marvel What If again.
Man,
people like their Captain Carter.
Stir. I can see this causing a stir of anybody that really takes this thing and runs with it, because a 1 in 10 selling for that kind of money, I can see everybody like Googling their local LCS right now to see what time they close.
No, but this is all the book. This book has been around.
This is an older book.
2018.
Okay, 2018. Got it. Okay. Wow.
And when this title ran,
the rosy cover,
it wasn't that crazy. And then it always seems to loop back and have heat on it. But have people like their Captain Carter.
I'll give you a little bit of an insight on this cover. This week, the woman who posed for that original Rosie the Riveter, she turned 99 or 100 this week.
Oh, nice.
And that might be why, some things pop up in the news and people start Googling and come up with covers and start going crazy.
But also, she was heavily used in the new What If cartoon series too.
Yep, they like their Captain Carter.
Peggy Carter was.
I prefer Agent Carter over Captain Carter. I thought Agent Carter was a fantastic show, but and I love Haley Atwell, but I don't dig Captain Carter as much as just good old Peggy and Agent Carter. But like I said, it's moving. It's moving for a decent chop. I don't know how many are out there. I haven't looked for a while to see how many are out there for sale. It's not a book that pops up too often.
Rosie and Styx were in grade school together. And that is
as a child.
And that is your outside looking in for this week.
Thank you very much, Bruce.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And slide into a little comic now and later here. Get this one through here quick. So this week, I stayed away from Ultimate things and Spider things and a lot of that stuff. This Space Usagi 1 in 10 Jennifer Meyer cover to me was gorgeous. There have been a lot of really good Usagi Yojimbo covers over the past 6 months or so. This continues that streak that they have. It's just a really beautiful cover. Anytime there's a kind of unique Usagi Yojimbo cover. I always love to pick it up. Then we got a new series, The Colonized, Zombies versus Aliens.
Ooh, I like
It's a
that.
great Francavilla cover.
Yeah.
It's just a cool cover. It
Yeah, the one-
looks like a cool book.
Kind of looks like Spooky Space Kook on the one half from Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
It does.
Yes, it does. But Francavilla, nobody right now is doing kind of these old school feeling horror covers better than Francavilla.
Yeah, I like this.
The covers he puts out are really fantastic. So, it's starting out, so it's something worth giving a try. And it kind of flew a little bit under the radar. Yeah, it's a cool cover if you like horror covers as well. And just for AOA, if I didn't see him in the chat tonight, I put a book on for him and then he disappears. I had to throw Avengers Twilight 1 in there. There's a slew in this series coming up of Daniel Acuna covers that are all really, really, really good. This is a cool foil variant of Cap. I dig a good Cap cover every now and then, and this one was just, I like the simplicity of it. It's a cool Cap cover. You don't have to have too much going on. It was pretty nice. So.
Oh, did I mention
it-
Sakai was at
it-
that
serious.
con I was at? I think I forgot to mention that. He was at that con I was at a couple of weeks ago.
Sakai?
Sakai? Is that how you say his name? Sakai?
Oh, Stan Scott,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes, as James notes, Colonized isn't a new series. It was a prior mini.
Oh, okay.
It is out there this week, so go pick it up. And in the future,
Ooh.
Oh my God.
threw a few fun things on here.
Oh, I love that cover.
The Green Arrow cover, it's just the A cover, but I loved having the whole Arrow family on the cover, which I thought was pretty nice. It's just a simple cover, but I'll probably pick it up. Love me some Speedy.
That's a great cover.
The Sickness. Ooh.
The Sickness cover was just that. It's just good. It's just a damn good cover. The Sickness has had really good covers overall, but this one was just creepy and
Is
good.
that an incentive or just a open order?
I believe it's just the open order.
Oh.
And
It's
Yeah,
like-
that's. Hang on, we're not ready to move on from the sickness yet.
Down with the
That
Sickness.
thing is.
Interesting.
It reminds me of like a stepwife in like a horror movie or something.
I can't.
It's like
Yeah,
a
that is-
black and white movie.
The others?
Zombies involved.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a good stunning cover. For a black and white, especially, it really it pops.
Yeah, that thing keep me up tonight. I mean,
You know you can't show Jedi these things. He'll be up nightmares.
Yeah,
Send it to you. Send it to you and have a big poster up. When you
I get
open your
scared.
eyes, right there.
And Tom King's series, the Helen of Windhorn, some Bilquis Evilly cover. I love Bilquis's covers. Her stuff on Supergirl World Tomorrow was fantastic. Her covers are always very detailed, and I just dig it. It's a cool series and nice cover. That's what I got for this week. I'm starting to run out of
what's going on
covers.
in that cover?
I need some more solicitations
that?
to come out.
When does that Sickness cover
More
come out?
previews.
What day?
The Sickness, I believe, comes out in March, end of March. So I try to pick books well into the future, at least a couple months, so that if you see them, you can look in previews or throw them on a pull list or whatever, and not have to rush because it's tough sometimes on a late Sunday to be like, hey, this is on FOC. You got to get in there in the next hour before, nobody wants to have to run to do all that stuff. So throw something out there in the future that you can remember. And again, I don't think many of these are going to sell out or not be at your store, but it'll be something that maybe you'll remember if you pop in March. You go, oh, I remember that. I saw that.
I hope my LCS hides that one behind the counter. I don't want to walk in to see that thing.
Jedi.
It's gonna give you nightmares.
And I'm gonna send Bruce for a horror flick too. It's all the DC covers crumpled up. The books that he wants crumpled up, all the covers. That's gonna make him cry.
How about I burn some Boba Fett pops on live cam? Just put them up in flames. How's that?
Oh man.
Jeez.
All righty. So
Hostile tonight.
now that we got our blood flowing and
My blood is always flowing up.
let's get into some little barbershop talk. So first on the list,
Wrong.
too much. Are we tiring of remakes, reboots, reunions, and sequels? This was brought up by I guess they're making another Wizards of Waverly Place.
They're making a sequel. Yeah.
A sequel.
I don't know if it's a series or just a one-time movie, to be honest. I just kind of scanned through the article, but obviously Wizards of Waverly Place is not my generation's, but my kids, this was my two boys, Disney, back on the Disney Channel, they would watch this, and so I would watch it with them, and I liked it. I kind of got into watching it. I mean,
just love Dom DeLuise's son.
It was fun. It was a fun show.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I remember vaguely what it was about. I will probably watch this, especially if it's just a one-time movie on Disney Plus or something like that. I'll definitely watch it. But
unfortunately,
but back to the overarching question: are they making too many sequels and blah 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 remakes, etc.? Probably, but it's kind of like throwing everything against the wall, see what'll stick. Some of it's going to stick. To me, this sticks, but to me, not all of it's
listen,
gonna
they
stick,
want to
so.
get now the Wizards of Waverly Place still have their own kids or something like that.
Yeah, it
Right.
seems like 90% of what comes out is either a remake, a reboot, a reunion, or
Hey.
sequel. And maybe it's just
That's
the
good
fact that the stuff that they're remaking now is a little more known to us or more familiar to
But
us.
you're right, Joe. But you know what the crazy thing is? Like this show will come out and then they'll say, "Oh, you don't want to put the whole woke thing into the other situation." Is that they put it in there? The people that grew up with this, seen it one way. Other people are going to see it. Oh, this is this and that. At the end of the day, Disney does not know how to make brand new content that's going to make people go, "Wow." They like to reboot and freaking do the remakes and do this and do that, make movies out of animation, it's like.
Well, I think the target for this movie, to me anyway, would probably be, like I said before, your Gen, millennial, probably millennial, maybe Gen Z, but probably millennial more so. And so that's the target of something. I'm talking about the Wizard of Waverly Place specifically.
Mhm.
And I think those generations are more open to the more what we call woke ideas and topics. So I don't think that'll hurt this project if
There's a lot of
they
people
go
who
a
love
little
Selena
woke.
Gomez. Selena Gomez and stuff like that. She made a big name for herself. She was the written star of the entire show. If you think about it, now she's even bigger. She's bigger than a lot of other people. Like all the people who were on that show, she's the biggest part of that show.
Except for Peter DeLuise.
Yeah, exactly. 21 Jump Street, yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, I have no problem with reunions, and even
Yeah.
if they're going to continue a story, I just think it's nice if you keep the original characters in the type of mindset that they would be in, being the age that they are now. And then you can have their kids be complete assholes, but have them be kind of who they were, but in adults, have the same types of sensibilities. But
I'm surprised she agreed to do this because she's such a big star.
It's not like she needs money.
Are y'all being sarcastic? I didn't know she was such a huge star. Are you guys like pulling my
She
tail a
is.
little bit?
No, she's.
I mean, I know Selena Gomez is Selena Gomez, but you guys are acting like
Gomez,
she's like
music wise, her music.
turning down projects left and right.
What's the show she does? Murder? Was it Murder in the apartment building?
Oh yeah, with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah,
that's actually a pretty good show. You know?
Yeah. No, she.
One last thing I'll say on this is, and this is kind of aimed at Dom a little bit. Would be like, I think we need to be careful not to be those like our parents. Like say, what if they were to do a reunion of Charles in Charge or some of the shows that we grew up with, a couple of years later, and our parents were like, well, that's just stupid. Why would they do that? That's just dumb. They're just, I mean, yeah. You don't want to be too cynical of these things. It's a fun,
right? Or Disney. Who made this? Nickelodeon or Disney?
This is Nickelodeon.
I said Disney, but it could be
Disney.
I don't remember.
It was Disney. Yeah, so I was gonna say like anything when it comes to shows or books or toys, every so often they try to release stuff that's based on what the parents and the kids, to bring the parents with the kids. Hey, I grew up on this. Have the kids watch it.
Yeah,
and with streaming, they can watch the original show. Like when we were growing up, there was no watching the original show. You had to wait until it came out on VHS and sometimes it never came out on anything.
They were successful with the Zoe 102 and that 90s show.
I loved how they I had just recently found this out, the way they did that. It was so when they would do those shows, if it ran so many seasons, those kids would get a bump in pay. So what they did is like every 3 seasons, they would change the name of the show slightly so that their pay scale would go back to what it was, and they would not be eligible for those raises. Those Disney paid for it.
I remember this used to be like Wizard of Waverly. That was like must-watch TV. I mean, we're talking. Remember Hannah Montana? This was back in the days of Hannah Montana. This show, Josh, the show about the 2 twins living in the hotel. I forget the name of it, but
Sweet Life, Zach and Cody.
Zach and Cody, yeah. So this was like must-watch TV for my kids back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my
kids still watch this.
My daughter's 22, and this is the stuff that she watched. My younger kids, they could give shit less about TV in general. So, alrighty. Another interesting story. So apparently, Jedi, you sent me the story. Did you read up on the story?
I've read a little bit about it, and I've actually seen a little bit of news coverage on this. So the initial headline that I saw on this was a little misleading. It says fans are suing Madonna for making them wait like 2 hours and 15 minutes. She was late for the concert starting. There's actually only 2 fans. Obviously, it affected everybody, but 2 fans are suing her because the show ran long, because it was like 2.5 hours late, and by the time the show was over, a lot of the public transportation had shut down. People were stranded. They couldn't get home, et cetera, et cetera. I honestly can't even remember where this was, to be honest, where the concert was. But I mean, the overarching question, I think, is as fans, can we expect some level of professionalism, meaning on time, not coming out there being drunk and falling and slurring? We're paying big money for these tickets sometimes. Can we expect to hold people liable for when they fuck it up, basically? Whether it be a refund, in this case, suing may be a little extreme. Maybe these 2 people are lawyers and it's no skin out their back to sue whoever the fuck they want to, but
like a class action
refunds,
lawsuit.
things like that. It just seems like,
well, like in the movie theater, like you go to the movies and if something's wrong in the movie theater, they give you like a refund. They have like a ticket for another movie down the road, this and that. But see, like when you have live performances, that's another story in its own. You do pay a lot of money. Like if it's a Taylor Swift concert, how much, and she does something stupid like she had sex with what's his name in the back of the room, and she can't perform because her hips are hurting. We should get that money back.
It's an interesting story we've gone down.
You bastard.
Can't you just shake it off?
Yeah, who knows?
So I don't know. I this is the old man coming out in me again. I expect a little bit of of professionalism from Madonna, because she's just nobody. She's a person just like the rest of us. A little bit of professionalism, offer a refund, offer something to these people that got, like I said, a lot of these people couldn't get home because there wasn't not enough public transportation to get these people home.
A lot of
I
times,
feel this way sometimes if I'm
No.
watching a movie in a theater and there's a crying baby in there throwing a fit. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes in my head, I'm like, man, this sucks. I'm gonna go ask for a refund.
Now,
How dare they let
It
this?
should be a crack baby in a rated R movie.
I'm going to throw some gold out there. Somebody could take it and run with it if they like and make millions of dollars. Places like Ticketmaster and stuff like that, or whoever's issuing the tickets, there should be a company that offers insurance.
a lot of the
You
times,
pay an extra $2 or $3 on a ticket,
Movie insurance?
and if it's X amount late or whatever, you can be reimbursed a certain amount.
That's not a bad idea. That's actually a pretty good idea.
a lot of the times, the performers don't know what's going on and why the shows are delayed.
Well, here,
Yeah, I think in
Madonna
this
has a
case,
pretty
if
good
the-
work ethic.
look at the
In this case, if it's, I mean, you're right. Madonna's probably not the one financing this
Oh, Madonna.
tour. So
she's 70 years old.
the headline's more catchier if it's fans sue Madonna. They may be suing whoever the sponsor is for the tour. I don't know exactly. That it's just a
Celebration tour.
Degrassi says, when I saw the Cult open for Metallic in '89, Ian Astbury belted out their whole set on his back. Ossified drunk. I don't think I have had it any other way.
so you're set up. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go anywhere.
Nah.
I just
No.
No, because I think it's difficult to figure out who's liable. For
two fans
late
out
performance.
of thousands of fans, only two complained. So
well,
I'm sure-
not
I'm sure
necessarily
more
only
complained.
two complain, only two
Two
sued.
complained vocally.
Two.
Yeah. Hey, this day and age, people sue. They get anything they want sometimes, depending on what it is. More people
Suing
want
you.
less
Nope.
people predict.
Yeah,
It'll end up being
you may win millions.
it'll end up being a class action lawsuit or something like that. They'll try to get all the fans in that to sign it, and it'll go nowhere.
Look at that. See, Live Nation sells ticket insurance.
Okay.
To different
I
outlets.
I
There
did
we
not
go.
know that existed. So
I didn't either. I thought I'd come up with something, but I'm just a moron. So-
Day late and a dollar short.
I'm suing this podcast right now because I'm feeling less smarter than I did when I first started.
Our viewers are going to sue the
Yeah.
tax show every week because they're always fucking late. So.
Yes. All lawsuits go to the state of Michigan. Find a lawyer that is registered with the bar in Michigan and go that way. Anybody watch Echo? I just threw this in
Not
there
yet.
because
Not yet.
it's out.
I watched the first episode and then I could not find. I can't make myself go back and finish it. I thought it was boring. I did. That's all I'll say about it. You guys go ahead and talk about it all you want. I thought the first episode
I enjoyed
was so boring. I can't make myself go back
I
to it.
enjoyed it.
I'm kind of torn because I enjoyed watching the series, but I don't feel I got what I was promised. I
Don't worry,
felt
you're gonna
I
get
was
it born
promised
again.
a violent
It was
Show.
violent.
It's very
Yeah.
violent.
in the first episode.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'll agree.
two
It
more
wasn't that
times
violent.
Well,
through the
think about
season.
And they're making me read. I don't appreciate
The
that.
Netflix series were violent, but they weren't that violent. There was an episode that was more violent than the other, but that's what
No,
you're gonna get.
Punisher
Listen,
was.
Look, I look at it this way. At the end of the day, we got to be happy for the little bit of violence that Disney's trying to pour out after they deleted the scene when friggin' U.S. agent decapitated the guy on the friggin' steps in Falcon and Winter Soldier. The blood on the shield, they took that away. So
Yeah, like I say, I enjoyed the series. I didn't not like it. I just thought I was going to get something that was a little grittier and had a little more action.
well, at least
And-
you know one thing about the.
It was something different from what they usually put out.
Thank you, Weed Richards. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
You got to
Yeah.
kind of look at it what the censors consider violence, right? So, like, usually it's like robot on robot violence, and that doesn't really count to the censors. But when it's human to human violence, that's when the scales are up, I guess, a little bit. And that's where we don't have any superheroes really in the show. There's no Iron Man. There's nothing, you know.
It's like the street. Like,
Hey,
I prefer the
Jeffrey.
street level
What's happening,
characters
brother?
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. So.
It kind of started off a little hotter. And I thought there was going to be more consistent action throughout. The pace did slow down a bit.
Sometimes, yeah.
Which is fine. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the show. Like I said, I wanted a little more violence. But
Violence.
I'll say it wouldn't be a show that I would wait each week to watch. So
no. I like if they hadn't dropped all the episodes at once.
It's 5 episodes though, man. It's not like it's
I sat and watched it. I binged it and I watched 1 through 5 sitting down for a day.
What?
And
You watched it for the Kingpin. Come on, the Kingpin is what makes the show. You know, so he's actually the best.
Yeah, I really liked Echo's relationship with the Kingpin. That was a good story to tell.
Well, listen, Jedi, cover your ears. I know what happened.
I don't care. I don't care about spoiler. I may not watch it, to be honest with you. So go ahead.
You don't know the fact is that okay, spoiler now. If anybody who didn't watch it, he's a mutant.
What?
She's a mutant.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, she's gonna be showing up in the comic books for mutant the X-Men for the X-Men.
She's a descendant of those Native American gods or something.
I know.
Yeah.
I could tell at the
They got
beginning.
mutant,
So.
they call
That's
her
not a mutant. Stop.
Well, no. She's
he's talking about Kingpin. He's talking about Kingpin. So that was kind of confusing for me about Kingpin too, because he gets shot in the eye, but his eye.
He's got the
doesn't
super
get-
serum soldier in his body. He
Yeah,
took
I look at that.
took it. That's how he got it. That's how he's strong. How do you think?
Kingpin's like me. He's just never seen a buffet he didn't like.
I thought that was all technology. His eye. When he pulled it off, it was like tech.
He got shot in the eye.
No. From him being shot in the eye.
He took
Ooh,
the super
going on?
soldier serum. And you're gonna find out later.
He literally put a freaking contact lens on her so she could see him sign through his words. So I'm assuming they had the tech to replace an eye.
Yep.
I think it was just tech. I don't think he's a mutant.
He's not a mutant. Freaking goddamn, he injected.
I thought it was I think
He's
it was
gonna be
a contact. I don't think it was a.
He's gonna be mayor, and freaking goddamn Harrison Ford, Thunderbolt Ross is gonna become president. There you go. It's gonna make the whole ground level heroes great.
You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
Yes, Dom the Scooper. If it's wrong, you say fuck you. No.
Just add it to the list.
Well, the more money they put into these shows, the more it's going to be better. Now they see what they do with Daredevil. They drop the shows. It's not going to be 18 anymore. It's going to be 13.
Well, they said they haven't finalized the episode count.
Okay.
No misinformation, Dom. No misinformation.
I'm not missing it. No, I've read the same shit.
I'm just happy they're bringing back Karen. I
Foggy and Karen.
I want the Karen Page storyline that I want, and I think everyone knows what storyline it is.
For her to die of an overdose or something.
No,
And you guys saw the
she
after
goes
credit scene?
to make some porno.
Jeez, they're not gonna do that. It's Disney.
They could.
Did you guys see the after credit scene?
Styx.
No, I did. Well, what did I? I can't even remember whether I saw the after credit scene. I think by the time I was done with it, I was like, okay, this was a show.
Yeah, I don't. It's not spoilery, but not too spoilery, I guess. I don't know if you want me to say it, I'll say it.
She's going to be part of the
Go
Young
ahead, say
Avengers.
it. It's been out. It's been out.
It's been out long enough.
So after the credits start, and then it kind of goes into the mid-credit scene where Kingpin's on the plane and he's watching like these New York City news journalists talking about the mayoral run, and they're kind of talking about a guy similar to him, and where he gets the idea to maybe run for mayor. Kind of a boring, but that was the end credit scene.
Way to knock it out of the park, Disney.
I'm not missing formatting.
Yeah. Well, it was an interesting foray into their Spotlight series. And, granted, while this is a Spotlight show, it wasn't initially made as a Spotlight show because it was made well before Spotlight was ever a thing.
Right.
So
They kind of gave it that brand.
yeah, so maybe as they start to develop projects explicitly for Spotlight, they'll be a little more gritty. So
What's the next Spotlight? Agatha?
I don't know if they're running that as a Spotlight.
Oh.
Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know. I hope they're not.
I think the next
I don't.
Spotlight's going to be Daredevil. Maybe. Or
Well,
they have something else coming out before that. I don't know.
Daredevil's still filming, so he probably won't
So
get
they're-
that till next
They
year.
rescraped the whole thing, but they got all the showrunners and the stunt coordinators that did all the Netflix shows are doing it. So it's going to be like Netflix 2.0 on Disney. So
Yeah.
See, this is the problem. You're getting your hopes up, and then when
No.
it happens, you're gonna be like, "Oh, this sucked. There was
No,
no
that-
violence, no blood."
that's what they have. They have the freaking showrunners of the Netflix series and the other freaking. Listen,
Until it's
I
rated
get good
by,
info here because
until
I
it
know
gets
what
a
I'm talking
rating, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
It hasn't been
yeah.
rated yet.
Now we're going to be getting. That's going to be 13 episodes. They already talked about it already. They're dropping it. It's not going to be 18. End of story. I know.
I don't know. For me, street level Marvel has always been boring.
I'm getting
No,
Sunday
that's
night
just
deja
what-
vu.
I
so.
like that. You like that oversaturated freaking Superman crap, man. Remember,
Oversaturated.
two
Superman.
X-Men can defeat the entire Justice League. Remember that? I sent you that thing. Two
Yeah,
X-Men
okay.
can beat the entire Justice League. Professor Xavier can get into Superman's mind and usually cut them about. There you go. End of story.
Blue Beetle
Yeah,
can
nine
beat Boba Fett. Just remember that.
No, don't get
I'm
mad.
talking about Ted
Don't
Cord
get-
Blue Beetle.
don't
All
get
right.
mad if the X-Men can take down the Justice
I
League.
thought I was over my Sunday night PTSD, but apparently not. I'm suffering. You guys-
It moved it to Friday.
All right, next up on the list, public domain horror. Apparently, we'll be getting a Pinocchio horror film.
What the hell?
As all of these old characters and the IP for them become public domain, is it going to start to be a trend of all these older things coming off of, going into public domain, and we're going to start seeing all these really cheap horror films of Steamboat Mickey and Pinocchio and Winnie the Pooh.
I
And
can't wait for Peter Pan.
Pinocchio. Hasn't Pinocchio been in the public domain for
Yeah.
like 30
All
years?
time.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
probably never had the idea until the Steamboat Willie thing. And now they're like, hey, let's make a
Kill-
horror movie
another
with
killer doll.
Pinocchio.
The
Made out
blood
of
and honey from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Blood and Honey too. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I
I
think
can't imagine. I can't imagine some B movie company didn't make a horror film based on Pinocchio in the 70s.
I would not be surprised if this is the latest trend or fad of horror movies. Just because, like Joe has said so many times, horror movies are easy money because they're cheap to make.
Mhm.
People like them. And really with horror movies, and this again, I attribute this a lot to what Joe said in the past. With horror movies, you don't need a lot. With horror movies, you don't. It's not like sci-fi movies where you need a large special effects budget. You need a large, large action films where you need a large demolition explosive budget. Blah blah blah. With horror movies, you just need a good story, really. And what these new public domain introducing that into the horror genre, like with Blood and Honey and the Steamboat and this, it's just adding a twist to make an old, proven, reliable storyline a little fresher. So I think we are going to see more of this type of thing in the future.
I think the next one is Bambi, horror movie coming out this in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
or a month.
Bambi's
I
gonna
did
have
hear about a Bambi one.
He's gonna have.
We're going to have a rabid Bambi. Yeah, it's going to be Cujo with antlers.
Bambi with the Lyme disease.
God damn it! I hated that movie. Scared me.
Lyme disease.
I was scared of dogs
No,
forever.
because deers have ticks, so many ticks. So that's why they always
What?
talk about the deers having ticks.
What?
actually, the mice carry the ticks more than anything else.
Ah.
The deer have the ticks on them,
And
but
deers stay in the car.
the
so
mice-
dying.
Dom the veterinarian.
All right.
Deers are the leading cause.
Thank you, Dom, for
The biggest
taking us
animal
way off topic.
That's animal in the United States. In any animal in the United States, deers. More deaths.
Let's turn this thing back to.
there we go. Now let's get into something different here.
Oh, we're done. Oh, we're done with that already. Oh,
Little palate cleanser here.
I would have sped up Echo and did spend more time on the horror movie one. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not a comic sale or sales in this case of the week. Wow, this is turning out to be a little more challenging than maybe we initially thought. It was coming up with non-comic stuff or fresh comic sales every week. But this week we went with concert T-shirts from the 90s, which is I don't know. I think
They go for a lot of money.
they go for a lot. I was surprised, especially so the Soundgarden one I put up there because it's $2,200 for this long sleeve Soundgarden concert T-shirt, and that was a fixed sale. I threw that in there just as kind of it could possibly be an outlier. I don't know. The others on the list were all auctions, with the Marilyn Manson going for a little over $800 off 31 bids. The Nirvana going for a little over $800 with 4 bids. Sonic Youth 676 with 39 bids.
Order
And then the
66.
9 Inch Nails a little over $500 with 20 bids. I did not find my initial search. My intention was not necessarily to do a 90s T-shirt. I just kind of typed in the little search engine I use. I just typed in concert T-shirts, and I wanted to see what some big sales were. I expected maybe some stuff from the 80s. No, it was the 90s. This is, I guess, T-shirts or concert T-shirts. Maybe there's not that many from the 80s around anymore, or maybe this is just T-shirts are just a strike home with the millennial generation as collectibles. I know my son collects clothes more than I don't collect clothes, but my son does.
Shirts,
So
big money. A lot of shirts are big money, man. It depends on the type. If it's music or if it's pop culture, there's a lot of stuff that's worth a lot of money. More than comic books and more than toys, which is crazy.
I always wonder how they authenticate these things.
I do too. Well, I didn't. Obviously, there were a lot of tags and stuff on the eBay sale. I obviously didn't include those. A lot of the tags do have years on the tags. Now, obviously, that could be counterfeited and forged or whatever, but most of these did have the tags included that had a year manufacturing date.
You got to make sure
I
you
just
have the tag inside the shirt, because a lot of the shirts they rip it out, and that brings the value down for a lot of shirts.
I just remember getting concert shirts back in the 90s and stuff like that. And
Right.
they were just pieces of shit shirts.
I think you also have to remember, like, why the 90s? Like, the 90s may be that perfect era to wear concert T-shirts. So like I said, 80s are maybe a little too old. Maybe there's just not enough 80s stuff. And then you got the 90s. But then once you get past the 90s, a lot of this stuff was available more and more online. So it was easier to get. Probably the 90s on back, you could only get these things probably at concerts. The official ones anyway. I mean, you might be able to pick up some stuff at JCPenney or whatever. I don't know. But once the internet and online sales and stuff took off, we could probably, all these bands now, probably a lot of them, from what my son tells me, make most of their money off selling merch anymore. So, and they all have their online stores anymore. But this era of the 90s was before all that. So you had to go to the concert to get these things.
Yeah, concert tees are expensive at concerts. It's insane. The price of $50, $60 for a freaking T-shirt.
I've gone many concerts, man. A lot of places I've gone, a lot of shirts. Money, $30-$40 for a regular T-shirt. And get
there it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought this was interesting. The more I started looking into, once I kind of stuck my teeth into it and started finding more and more, I was like, damn, this is not an anomaly. These things are hundreds of dollars. Obviously, I picked the higher ones, and I like to find the ones where there's actually bids going on and not fixed sales. But there were several fixed sales from $1,000 down to like $500, more so than I could fit on the slide. So it was not an anomaly. These things are worth money.
I think it's more a lot of rock band members killed themselves, so their merch is worth more in the 90s, from the 90s, or OD'd or whatever. So that could be it too.
Yeah,
it's true in some cases.
I mean, that Nirvana shirt, you can't see it because the picture's small. Because I tried. That Nirvana shirt has holes in it. The Nirvana shirt has holes in it, and it's still sold for $800.
You want to preserve your t-shirts. You want to preserve your
You
t-shirts.
get more
now,
authentic than that.
You can get something like this. It's like a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, the little box frames.
Box
Yeah.
t-shirt. This is
Yeah.
pretty cool. You put your t-shirt in it, and you put it away.
I have albums of those.
Yeah.
Don's back to shilling.
What happened?
Are you shilling for this company now?
Is that from your French Canadian friends?
No. This is what I had. No, it's just because I have one
Just move this way.
one Boba Fett t-shirt.
Charlie Chaplin T-shirts. Styx could make a killing if he ever decided to sell those things.
So a shirt I could never wear because it only comes in kid sizes. So I bought it for free. Hey, it came with a mini pop. What do you want?
That's what it is.
Cut the sleeves off and still got $400. Yeah, these things are. I was surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it helps when it's a band that's not really going to tour anymore because either somebody's dead or the band's just not going to ever get back together. But I don't know.
Never
Like I
ever.
said, there's people our age that grew up. I mean, I was a big Sonic Youth fan. That now have money and want to relive their youth and things from their teens and their early 20s when, they were listening to this stuff and loved it. And then there's trust fund kids who just want to be cool and they know these bands because their parents listen to them and they'll shell out the money for it. So
What's going on with Walmart? I'm looking at the grassy thing.
Well, it's this whole thing with brick and mortar stores removing physical copies of stuff like DVDs
Best
and
Buy.
Blu-rays. So I
I
think
saw in the news
Walmart's
Walmart's locking up underwear now.
They're locking up everything.
Oh, we're this era that we're in right now. It's so strange.
just keep digging in another level lower on the bunker.
People changing their underwear at Walmart or something? Listen, be glad they're changing their underwear, I guess.
I got to start that following people around in Walmart, taking pictures and videos. Some characters up here in upstate New York. Some characters.
No, not as many characters are here in New York. I can tell you that.
I don't know. They come down from the hills up here, and you don't know where the hell they came from.
It's true. The rusted trucks with 17 kids in the back. It's great.
Hey, don't talk about my family like that.
Wow.
That's all we can afford.
Some of us drive pick 'em up trucks. Well, thank you very much, Jedi. This is
good.
As always, good, interesting selection of things.
Check your shirts
and
out.
concert T-shirts are
just
a
sitting
good
there.
one.
Check them out. It might be worth money.
That and those the comic book T-shirts from the early '90s as well. The big graphic Marvel ones and stuff like that are insanely expensive.
Okay, what's funny? The '90s, most of the stuff in the '90s was overproduced, like comic books. There was so many books out there. If you notice, there's a lot of things from the '90s that are worth a lot more than what came out in the '80s and what came out in the early 2000s. So it's like it's amazing that there's some things that overshadow other stuff that came out then than now, and it's amazing. Like the '90s, you would think the '90s is the '90s, but there's a lot of things, a lot of collectibles out there.
Now the '90s is vintage, which disturbs me when I go to a place. It's like, we have some vintage stuff over there, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I got this when I was in my 20s.
No, it's like
I would Weed Richards. I would bet you anything. Either Dom or possibly Styx has some underoos. I bet you.
Boba Fett.
Tidy whitey. I can see that.
Styx is maybe from his childhood. I don't know.
They're called superhero briefs. Thank you very much.
They're superhero briefs.
Lucky for Styx, he can still wear the same size when he was 12.
Thank you.
I can.
You can.
All right, Styx, you want to run your trivia first?
Yeah, I made it a little harder this week, so be prepared.
I'm going to go run and grab a glass of
What happened?
All righty.
Oh, it's loading faster. Did you get better internet? I
I don't
spoke
know.
too soon.
Where'd it go?
It's right there.
All right.
2 hours
Well, I can't see
later.
it on my screen, so don't talk too quickly about my internet. I can't see it on my part. So okay. So this week's trivia is X23.
Okay.
And this that one. Let's begin. All right. So for first question, like I said, these are going to be a little harder, and it might be a little. One was a little controversial to me, so we'll see how you guys pick up on this. X23 is a clone of Wolverine. True or false?
True.
True.
What? That'd be false. She's not a clone.
Where's the clone?
This was a clone.
She had the vial that took
She's
the
a clone.
Yes.
True or false? I guess this.
I mean, I thought she was created from his DNA necessarily, but not a. She looks nothing like him. How can she be a clone?
Well, she was. That's how you make clones. You take the DNA from somebody and make a clone.
Really? Because all the clones in Star Wars look exactly like each other, Dom.
You know what?
Except for Omega. Maybe I'm mistaken. All right. I'll concede.
All right, here we go. And the answer is false. She is a genetic double, as she is female. So she's not a clone. She's just a genetic
She's a
double.
clone. She's a clone.
If she were a clone, she'd be male.
No,
Clones are the exact
you can
of the
manipulate
other.
the DNA to make it a woman too. Look at the science.
Look at that. Styx
What do you
coming
think-
out of the gate.
Whatever,
Controversial.
Jedi. Whatever, Jedi.
What do you think is going on in the world today? They're making clones
Well,
of
I'm
men.
riling them up already. All right.
If I could do the whole
Oh, whatever. She's a genetic
No.
double. She's a female. Okay, all right, whatever. It's still a clone. Got the DNA from Wolverine.
Dom, you're wrong. Stop it.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing yourself.
All right. Before that goes off the rail, number 2. What was X23's first appearance? Was it
Hey.
A, NYX issue number 3, B, X23 issue number 1, C, Uncanny X-Men number 450, or D, X-Men Evolution, the animated series?
Well, let me ask you a question. Where was the test tube?
Answer the question.
Oh, Jesus
Jeez.
Christ, Dom.
God.
Hey,
Sure, the test tube.
even I know this one. I'm 2 for 2.
A, Cosmic says D. All right.
D.
Weed Richard says D,
Her first
And
appearance.
and the answer is
This may be a trick question.
Her DNA capsule.
so. The answer is X-Men
It was
Evolution,
a
the
trick
animated
question.
series.
What?
So my question was, what was her first appearance, not her first comic appearance? So
I don't
her
know.
first appearance wasn't X-Men Evolution.
Styx
the
is
animated
just
series.
fucking with everybody tonight.
You're worse than
I'm
Lopez.
done.
turning the screws today, absolutely.
You're worse than Lopez.
I'm walking away.
First Apatea. Okay. Question number 3. Laura has an adamantium skeleton. How many of her claws are laced with adamantium?
That's funny. Styx consulted with Lopez on these answers.
I know.
Semantics. Yes, it's definitely semantics, Jeffrey Drake. 2 claws, A. 4 claws, B. 6 claws, C. Or D, none of them. None of her claws are laced with adamantium.
4. Wait, 6.
What does that mean?
Six.
How many of her claws are laced?
I'm going
What
with
does that mean?
C. 6.
With adamantium.
She has 2 and a half.
Oh,
2 fourths.
no, I thought they all were.
Does she have 2 and a feet?
6.
She has
I'm
some
going
on
with
her
C,
feet.
6. Yes, that's one of each.
Yeah.
What, she had 2 claws. on her feet.
Ugh.
She's a fun time.
What are we at here?
Ugh. That's worse than. I mean, I've heard of like scratchy toenails. But come on.
Right says A. BK said D. Astro said 6. 6 what?
I guess
Oh,
I'll,
6. Oh, 6. C.
I guess
Okay.
I'll say
Well-
6 if she's got a freaking hangnail down there. I mean, good God Almighty.
So the answer to question number 3 is only 4 of her claws
See?
are laced with adamantium. Just the ones in her fist. The ones in her feet are not laced with adamantium.
You
The one
see?
on her feet are just nasty toenails. Oh my God.
They're
What is
they're
this?
bone claws.
Ugh.
Jeez.
Yep, they're bone claws. She's got
Styx,
the.
you're an asshead. You're an asshead.
I hope she paints it at least. That's nasty.
All right.
Get all fungusy down
camel
there.
toes.
Question number 4. Besides X23, what is Laura's code name? Is it A, Lady Wolverine, B. Talon, C. Wolverbabe, or D.
Babe.
Or D.
Please be
Weapon
Wolver,
Y.
babe.
I'll take Wolver, babe.
Please be Wolver, babe.
No, it's not. It's not.
Talon? I guess. I don't know. D?
Magic. No. Is it D?
I'm not an X23 fan.
What is her code name?
Is it D?
They give her a code name.
I'm gonna say
Weapon
Talon
Y?
because all the others sound dumb except for Wolver, babe, and I know that ain't it.
It's Talon. Right, Talon. That can't be Talon. Can it be Talon? No.
No.
Not
It's a
Talon.
D.
Oh,
PK says Talon. Joshua said D.
It's D.
D.
Weapon Y.
Why?
Sometimes.
And our answer is it's definitely Talon.
Talon.
Yay.
Talon. Lady Wolverine was made up. Weapon Y was made up, and Wolverbabe I got from
If I gotta brush up my weapons.
not the What the series, the little comedy series.
Oh,
They had one there called Wolverbabe, so I took that.
You know, for Dom to be a Marvel fan, he knows nothing about Marvel.
You guys are doing
Hey.
great. Keep it up.
I don't like the accent. I'm like,
They can tell you what color Boba paints his toenails, though. He can tell you that.
All right. Our
I don't need
fifth
accent.
and final question: what is the name of the formula that, when inhaled, turns Laura into a berserker rage? Is it called the A, spark scent, B, I spelled that wrong. Coarse aroma. It's supposed to be coarse aroma.
Course aroma.
B,
Okay, I like
activation
I like that
aroma,
better.
or D, trigger scent.
On B. B.
I'd go with B because
What
that's
was it again? What was B again?
Coarse
Coarse.
aroma. Coarse
Coarse
aroma.
Of course.
I spelled cause. I don't know why I did that. It's supposed to be coarse.
Hmm. All these sound so good.
BX body
I-
spray. Brute by Fabergé. Okay, come on, guys.
Right, that's funny.
Come on.
Drakkar.
Oh,
Yeah,
BK
the
is
final
killing it in 20. I'll say right now, 2024 in BK. This is his year. He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
All right, so our answer is trigger scent.
Uh,
I
D.
almost said trigger set. I don't think I actually answered.
Okay. So
I
now,
thought you-
now
I thought
that
you said
the
cause scent.
now that the all the viewers are
Triggered.
properly outraged by your questions.
Now that the viewers are a little bit dumber than they were when they first started on this show.
Oh,
are you talking about the panelists or the viewers?
No,
The viewers.
The viewers.
I dropped solid knowledge in there, Dom. Don't try to troll me.
the page from Logan, dude.
All
There's some
right.
solid knowledge in there.
Let's look at some covers.
Oh god. You see, Styx sucks. You see, come on, they mixed up.
I will tell you, modern comics is not fun to find cover appearances. Old Silver Age was far easier to track than Bronze Age than moderns. Moderns tend to be a bit of a mess with X characters throughout everything. Of course, NYX3 is where she appeared first in comics. And it is a very mature and dark storyline.
Exactly.
Not
Prostitution is,
yeah. I mean, she's introduced as basically a hooker.
Yeah.
So it is a pretty dark storyline.
Hey, it's the Disney way.
Yeah,
That was pre-Disney, Dom.
and her appearances are stretched out throughout that series. It's not like this book is just about her. It's not. She is a character that reoccurs throughout the series, starting with 3.
They make her look Asian, then they make her look Caucasian, then they make her look. They have different looks on her. You know, if you notice, like some of the pictures that they.
It is the same thing with Afro. So I mean, that's just.
Well,
Isn't that all just the artists? I mean, the different artists.
Afra's
pick their
all
own.
Asian. All the pictures. Look. She's Asian here. She's Caucasian right here. She's Asian here. And then if you look at the picture, so it's
that's the third one's there. That third picture, that's not her on the cover. That's the other character that's in there, but she plays a major role in that.
Well,
So.
Dom never lets facts get in the way of a good story. So.
Very true.
What was the
But
the semantics?
again, your introduction to her as a character is a very, very dark, dirty kind of storyline, gritty for Marvel. I don't see Marvel doing much of this type of stuff that much anymore.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I like Marvel Max. I like when Marvel does some more adult storyline stuff, just like DC has the Black Label stuff, where you can get more adult stories out of characters and stuff like that. But
I was going to ask. This is pre Marvel Max, right?
This was 2003, 4. So I'm trying to remember when Max was. I think. Is it before?
So can I
or
ask
is
a
it just right
question?
after?
As someone that doesn't know a lot about the origins, really, even though I nailed that trivia question, someone that doesn't know a lot about the origins, is when she's introduced in the comics, or I guess in the animated series, is she an adult, a young adult, or is she an adolescent teen like she was introduced to us in the movie Logan?
In the animated series, she's like a teen, or like pre-20, like so late teen.
So over 18, I guess, is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
It's questionable as to what the hell her age is here.
Like Joe said, she's introduced as a prostitute. Now, did Marvel introduce her as? I mean, because that would be really dark if she was an underage.
Yeah, it's drawn in a way that makes you want to question it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Damn, that is dark.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty gritty for what's normally kind of.
Did anybody see the
all age topics?
Did anybody see the deleted scene from the Marvels with Valkyrie and Ms. Marvel? So Disney does some stuff that's suspect.
Yeah, that's pretty Disney.
But nonetheless, this is a good series. This is a good series.
Here goes Dom again. Let's go over here.
I'm just saying that. Gotta watch the scene.
Nobody derails better than freaking Dom.
There's a couple.
Okay, well, yeah.
But no, I mean, NYX3 is always going to be a solid book. It's her first appearance.
Do we know what kind of backlash Marvel got from this series because of that depiction, if any?
No, I have no clue.
Okay.
I was out of comics. I was out of comics completely at this time when all this stuff initially came out.
When this initially came out, I missed it.
I was playing catch up when I got back in. She did have a handful of X23 titled series, and again, you get in this one you are getting a younger character in the series. The Billy Tan covers there for 1 and 2. And this series was only like a year and a half or so after NYX came out, so there wasn't that big of a gap between that and then her getting her own title series. You had her other series, Target X, which had some pretty cool covers in it as well. There you go. You get the seer toe claws there. See, they don't really look like bone, so it doesn't really look like long toenails. She doesn't need to go to a podiatrist. It's not gross. Yeah.
I didn't draw that.
But there are some good covers in the X23, the Target X series.
That last one's pretty cool. I like the last one.
Yeah. With Wolverine. There is this. I love this one shot. It's Women of Marvel, the first one there, which was just a one shot. It's a great cover. You don't see it around too much either. Then there was the second volume of just straight up X23. That one has some really cool covers as well. I love the pirate with her and Gambit.
Oh my!
Yeah,
she looks like Wonder Woman too, with the little Tahara on the top of her head.
Yeah, she does kind of. Yeah,
she's got the little bandana. Yeah, it's a good series with good number of really unique covers in it. That one ran a while. And then you have this was the 2018, I believe, run of hers where you had, I love the Bartel cover, the first one there, the Bartel variant there. But you had some good fun covers.
Isn't the second one right there, number 7? That one actually was in the spotlight at the artwork. People like that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of these are winners in terms of covers. Like I said, I love the Bartel. All the early ones have really great, vibrant colors and really cool covers on them.
Is it me or is the last one looks like a young Paula Abdul?
That's just you.
Maybe.
That looks nothing like Paula Abdul.
Come on.
You see it? Yeah, you see it.
That doesn't even look like late 80s Paula Abdul.
Early 80s.
No.
It looked like Paula Abdul from.
I think you need to go back and listen to some MC Scat Cat.
Who? What? What?
You see that when she grabbed him before, like way before he became a star, he was singing, and then she grabbed him and wouldn't let go. He was trying to like push her.
Oh, MC Scat Cat.
When Alan Richardson from Reacher.
Oh.
You got the all new Wolverine series where she took the mantle of Wolverine, and in issue 2 of this, you also got Honey Badger introduced as well.
Yep.
And there are some winner covers on here. This annual, the last one on there, people always forget about that one. It sits out there. It's a cool cover as well. But
that first one's
through
cool.
Through that series, there's a lot of really interesting little variant covers here and there. I dig when they take her away from kind of the Wolverine colors and it kind of goes to that X-Force-ish, kind of the black and gray, the red eyes. It's pretty sharp. And of course, you can never go wrong. You got to have at least one Scotty Young cover that you throw in. It's just obligatory. You have her at X-Force as well. There's some decent X-Force covers with her. The Wolverine series. There's not too many of her with covers, like decent covers in that series, but that Scotty Young one and that number 3 were really the two that kind of featured her.
I got a really cool cover of her, and it's really badass. It's when I seen it, I said, "Yep, I gotta get it." I don't know if there's a virgin to this cover. If there's a virgin, I want the virgin cover, but it's a Edge of Venomverse cover.
I got it on here. I believe I got
this.
Yeah, I believe I have that one on here. Yeah, it is sharp.
You got the red, black and white. The red, this is really cool.
Yeah, when I get to that page, if that's not the one I showed up, I'll pop you up there. Show. But yeah, then she has plenty of appearances on various X titles. There's a good number of her cover appearances on all new X-Men. You got a good if you love your Jenny Frison, there's nice X-Men red Jenny Frison. Makes a handful of Uncanny X-Men appearances as well. You start to get into, got a handful of start getting into store incentives. She's starting to get, over the past handful of years as store exclusives started to get a little more and more popular. You start to see her more and more. But between incentives and store exclusives, there are a handful of really cool covers with her. The stained glass one on the far right is the most recent Zerdy one.
Mine just shipped today. I got a notice from
it's
that mine just shipped. Zerdy cover. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah. That X23 too there, I believe that's a Raza cover. There's definitely the first one there is an Ari Granoff. The green one there is a Delato, I believe. So you can if you look at all the covers right there, right? You have her looking like a woman next Wolverine. Then she's a little tray right there on the weapon, right? The Weapon X one. And then she looks more like a man
in the X23 cover, I think that she looks innocent, like a little girl on the Wolverine cover. So they changed the way she looks. So,
Oh, it's different interpretations by the
Yeah,
artist.
it's our artist interpretation.
Yeah.
You know that if you read comics.
I know I read comics. I actually like that Deadly Genesis. That's actually.
And just for Jedi, I had to throw in 2 Zerdy covers. So not only the stained
I know.
glass,
I
but
think I have that one. I have to check.
Oh, I want that
Yeah.
one now.
The
Shit.
Deadly Regenesis one is good. If you love our Germ, it's great on the Wolverine exclusive that was done. Our Germ for her. This is Tyler Kirkham, first X23 one. So there's definitely a lot out there if you're looking for it. There's your Death of the Venomverse right there.
Yeah.
There's your exclusive.
That's not the one, but that actually is pretty cool. But this one is. Yeah,
Here, let me throw it. Let me throw you up there, Dom. Hold on, so you can show.
Oh, maybe I don't have it. I thought I had that one.
now,
Oh, nice.
look how bad that is. It's just the Venom symbiote's taking over, and like he's. I think this is like really cool. I love the just the color, the shade, black and white with the red in it. I don't know if there's a virgin
that's
cover for this, but when I seen this, I said I have to get this. This is badass.
Yeah, if it was an exclusive, there's probably a version for it.
Yeah, because it was actually a Comic FOC. Right, but I think this is one of the best Venom covers. I think symbiote covers take it over. I believe that. I know there's other ones, but I really like that one a lot.
Yeah, no, that's that is nice. This is a Yoon. This one is a Yoon cover. You got a nice lyrics there, exclusive of her. Being Rich.
Like the last one, Genesis.
yeah.
How many issues of that story? Genesis.
Deadly Regenesis.
Deadly Regenesis.
I forget. Going through this, I mixed everything up in my brain in terms of all the runs of all of these. You could also look for her on other weird titles as well. That Miss Marvel cover is a great Miss Marvel, or is it great X23 cover? It's I like the fact that she has the lollipop in her mouth like a cigarette, which is just kind of a fun little throwback to Wolverine. If you like your Peach Momokos, there's a Fallen Angels cover of
It's not a
her.
bad cover either. That looks pretty good.
That's one of her better. It's not a terrible peach. Yeah, I agree with Dom. It's not a terrible peach cover.
No,
Like
she has Momoko has a couple covers of her. I believe they're all from the Fallen Angels series. But yeah, this one's not bad. Exterminators, which was a fantastic series. She was
cover,
one
like
of the, it's a great Dodson cover. I think that was 150. She was played prominent in that series, which is still one of my favorite reads when that series came out. It was a lot of fun. It was very adult themed as well, but in a more comical way. And Boom Boom was fantastic in it.
We got to see in sex and violence covers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And what would anything be without a Hellfire Gala cover?
That's pretty cool.
Of course, we have gotten her in animation and live action. And apparently, maybe we'll get Daphne Keene to come back again in live action for Deadpool 3. That's what we've heard, but who knows? We shall see. As always, there's a Funko for everything. Plenty of action figures out there in kind of whatever feel of X23 you like. If you like the Wolverine dressed up X23, go that route. You like the half top, I just got out of my Pilates class, X23. Got that. You got that option for you as well. Same with the statues. I think the statues are nice. Most of the action figures kind of look like shit, but some of the statues are nice. I don't collect statues, but
I do.
the ones that they do have of her are pretty sharp, I think. You get two options there that have the foot claws, and one without the foot claws. Your choice.
Hey, isn't issue 450 the X-Men? Is that the one like in the Savage Land, which is on the she's on top of the thing? Like you see her claw and you see Wolverine in the background. Or like in the Savage Land, I think. Issue 450.
Soon, Matt. Soon.
Yeah,
That is possible.
Mm.
In Uncanny 450.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that's a first cover appearance. There was a first not cover appearance, but a first in Wolverine's outfit, something like that.
When she starts to take the mantle of the Wolverine. Yeah. So that is your X23 run through.
Great segment.
Yeah, I kept it a little short today. I didn't feel like pulling 35 slides of covers because it's so hard.
Unlike the great Zatanna spotlight last week.
Zatanna is, and it's easier when you find an artist because it's easier to draw and pull stuff for an artist. When you're pulling for a character, especially when they're not a major character, they might have a few of their own series, but then they're thrown, especially an X character, where it's like, well, they could be anywhere in the Marvel universe over a 20-year time span. It's a pain trying to pull. You can pull appearances.
Richard, I think we can consider ourselves lucky that last week's Zatanna segment was as short as it was.
It could have been longer. It really could
have. Yeah, with Joe in charge of that, yeah, it could have been a hell of a lot longer. I think.
Yeah,
I think we need a Cyclops spotlight.
I don't want to put everybody to. If you thought Styx Trivia made people angry, God, I don't even want to think about doing the Cyclops spotlight.
Whoa.
Can we call it Nobody Likes Scott?
Oh. Leave Scott alone. He's misunderstood.
He's misunderstood. Oh, everyone hates Scott. So, final segment for the night. I wanted to kind of take a look at some of these. Growing up, we had some good raunchy movies, and somehow a lot of those movies were turned into cartoons. So I figured we'd kind of take a look through, everything. I don't know, everything when we were a kid followed somewhat of a pattern, be it a toy to a normally a toy to a cartoon to a breakfast cereal was the normal timeline. But every now and then we would get the interesting. It was a movie really made for adults that children really shouldn't have been seeing, but somehow it became a children's type character that kids loved, and it was thrust upon us. So, first off, Police Academy.
That's great.
I won't say fantastic movie. I will say entertaining movie. Not overly raunchy, but it was adult themed enough.
Don't stand at a podium not knowing if anybody's underneath the podium. You just said that.
How many podiums did you attempt that at, Tom?
This was, I believe, done by Warner Brothers. It has a kind of that late 80s kind of goofier animation style as well. And it was very slapstick, as kind of hyperbolic as most of the characters were in the movie. They kind of upped the level of stupidness of each of the characters for the cartoon. So you have Tackleberry carrying around rocket launchers everywhere he goes, and Hightowers pulling trees out of the ground, and it's
Mahoney
Mahoney's just Mahoney.
Exactly.
I told you guys, I don't think I've watched any of these because I think the majority of these, I don't know. Can you tell us the year that the cartoon came out? Because I think the majority of these were late 80s, and
they're almost all late 80s. with the exception of Highlander, which I believe is early 90s.
So I will say that Police Academy, because it wasn't gory, it wasn't violent, it wasn't bloody, it was a little bit raunchy, but I'm not surprised that they could make that, because I think by today's standards, Police Academy would not be a rated R movie by today's standards.
No.
I
think
don't
it'd
know.
be PG-13.
Yeah.
PG-13. Yeah.
It doesn't take much to get an R rating anymore.
Well, the whole thing on
I
R
don't
rating
think
back in the
Police
day,
Academy would.
like if you said fuck you, you get away with that. But if you say I want to be fucking you, that's a different story. That's the way the two
Context. It's called
different.
context.
Make sure you clip that there, Bruce.
I
I want that in the YouTube short.
will put that in the short.
It's the truth. That's the difference between a rated R movie and a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's
By the
weird,
way,
it's weird how
Dom,
those standards fall.
That is Dom's opening line at a bar. I want to be fucking you.
By the way, Dom, a little respect for the lady underneath the podium. That was Veronica Hart, I believe, a Hall of Fame porn star. So a little respect, please.
I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you.
You don't get into the Hall of Fame not being good at what you do.
Exactly.
Next on the list, RoboCop, which was one of the most disturbing intros to a movie ever, that somehow they turned into a children's cartoon.
Exactly.
I made sure I watched at least one episode of all of these today. And RoboCop was it's very weird and surreal watching it.
Especially that first episode.
Yeah, most of these shows, because you can't keep the same type of villains that you had in the movies. You know, you're not going to have people, massively producing drugs and stuff like that in a kid's cartoon. So they do stupid stuff. Like they're stealing blood plasma from, the
Red Cross
place, and RoboCop, comes through. And again, it's like a typical 80s cartoon. The other cops treat him like shit. OCP always wants to have somebody who's going to create something new and better and badder, and then he has to be able to be there and stop everything. But
I was just going to ask, did the cartoon have the RoboCop 2, the drug addicted robot?
Jeez, Jedi.
Yes.
No, remember that? I was like I thought that
yes, it did.
crazy.
It did have the what was the XJ23 or whatever it was. That there's an episode where they wanted to replace RoboCop, so they make it for some reason a traffic guard to direct traffic, and it shorts out like halfway through because somebody runs a red light and he just starts firing guns at them.
I'm talking, so X23 was in RoboCop 1. I'm talking about the RoboCop 2 when they took that criminal's brain and put it in.
Oh, that's right.
But he was addicted to drugs, so that's how they got him to do his job. Was like, here, we'll give you some drugs if you do your job.
RoboCop was all of those movies were so disturbingly awesome. But yeah, it's the weirdest part of the cartoon in and of itself is just kind of the weird buddy cop thing with his partner, because she talks to him like an 80s cartoon partner would talk, in that kind of cheesy talking. So it doesn't fit and it feels very weird. So it was, it's definitely a weird thing. Most of all these series, you can watch almost all of this crap on YouTube for free. To check out any of these, but I highly recommend just watching like one episode of some of these, because it's
the first
it's weird.
He had the guy, the one that killed him, he was going to shoot him, and she's like, "No, don't do that. This and that. You're gonna be just like them." He goes, "You're arrested." Like I'm like in the movie, he hit him with a freaking car, and he's asking, "Come on."
I know, it's weird how they tone out those things, especially when we get to one of the later ones, which I I don't understand how they made it into a children's cartoon, but they did somehow, which is Toxic Crusaders.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez.
I literally had Toxic Avenger on
I
in
used to
my
watch
house
this.
for about 10 minutes. And my wife was like, what the fuck are you watching? What the fuck is this?
What is it?
And, I don't blame her.
Nope.
Trauma stuff was pretty graphic and pretty disturbing. And how they turned this the way they did
Saturday morning kids
into
cartoon. Unbelievable.
into a kid's cartoon. And they do the first episode of this cartoon has his origin story where the girl tells him to come to the pool at night and basically is offering him sex. And he does, and they tweak the story there a little bit. But it's just odd. It's just very odd to watch these because you get these. And Toxic Avenger was a funny movie. It had its weird comedy in it, but it was also it was funny in a very disturbing way. So it's weird how to watch these to see how they tried to clean that up, to try to keep an origin story there that's kind of the same, but clean it up so that it's safe for kids. So it's
they just recently turned this into a video game. I played this Toxic Crusaders game last year at a con in Philly. So it's a really good game if you want to check out the game and the characters.
You know what's funny? I can just imagine the round table, the people, the meeting when they get in there, they talk about a cartoon. So we got this cartoon idea, Toxic Avenger. It's like, wait a minute, are you kidding me? No, it worked.
And it's crazy. I mean, like I said, it's almost surreal if you've watched the movie to just watch the first episode of this series, just to watch how they handle the origin story and how just weirdly surreal it is.
Oh yeah.
Oh jeez.
This one is weird on so many levels. It makes sense. It's like, oh, it's Rambo. And I don't know, when I was a kid, Rambo was the shit.
Yes.
Everyone wanted a goddamn combat knife, the survival knife. You wanted to have that compass on the end. You wanted to open it up and have your freaking fishing line and your matches in there. And
Joe
it
had
didn't
the
matter if it was the shittest knife.
That's all in his bunker.
That's still in his bunker, exactly.
But I mean, when we were kids, Rambo was the shit. But they turned it into a cartoon, so he's not directly fighting the Russians. He's not directly working with the Mujahideen. So he's fighting people that have Russian accents, but are more generic crime syndicate type people. But the talents he has, I was watching an episode where he was flying an F-14. Apparently he has that skill now as well. So it's one of those really, really
Didn't he fly a helicopter or something in one of the movies? Or
probably.
I can't remember.
A helicopter is more believable for him because it was like Vietnam that he was in. So at least they had helicopters.
So, unlike the kind of lone wolf that he was
Way to
in the
ruin
movies,
it, Styx. I was believing it.
He gets a solid team around him because everyone has to draw ideas from somewhere. So he has a mechanic, or a real high level mechanic who works with him, and he has a woman who is a master of disguise that works, and that's his team, his freedom force that works with him. But I love the picture of him saving the cat from a tree.
Well, at least they did this before the final. Was it the final? No, not the final Rambo. The one before where he's saving the Christian.
Oh yeah, that was the one before he came back home.
The missionaries or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, there were so many leg blow ups in that.
Heads exploding. Can you imagine them going into that meeting room that Dom's talking about, this meeting room, and they're like, okay, so here's this movie, we need to make a Saturday morning cartoon about this. And they're watching that. And they're like, what the fuck?
This could possibly work. It could work.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, and you go back and, you know, I mean, I think about this stuff now. It's like, I don't understand how they did this for kids. But as a kid, Rambo was huge. Yeah. And again, it wasn't a kid's movie, but you tell me one kid that was, you know, above the age of 8 who didn't see Rambo First Blood Part 2.
And it's true. They just said he should have been in G.I. Joe. He should have been a G.I. Joe character, been a cartoon character, you know?
I didn't care about Rambo at all. It's more sci-fi and horror for me.
Oh, I mean, First Blood was a fantastic movie.
BK, I was fishing off the deck of a carrier, not tanning, just so we're clear. I don't tan at all, so
you just burn.
Yeah,
playing volleyball.
Take my shirt off and play volleyball.
Yeah.
We also got a Conan the Adventurer series, which I could see the translation to this a little bit easier, but yeah, I do find it amusing that almost all these series.
That was good. Chuck Norris Karate Commando.
I don't know any of these, so yeah, we're on a Joe's dueling ride right here because I don't know any of these cartoons. These things.
This was Dom's idea from last week, and we're riding with it.
Yep.
It was it brought back a lot. It brought back a lot of memories.
It did, right? It does.
This series was good. It actually got a second season. So
yeah, Conan works a lot easier because I mean, what they normally do with a lot of these is like you take this crazy lone wolf character that was, you know, a beast in movies, and you just team him up with random other people that meet whatever demographics are necessary and skill sets are necessary. And then they go on adventures against weird evil people.
But from Conan the Barbarian to Conan the Destroyer, they dialed it down a whole lot. So Conan the Destroyer was not really a bloody, violent maybe, but not bloody at all.
Well, Conan, when he was gonna bang the witch that transformed into he threw into the fireplace, which was awesome. But
this one I was like, I could see how this makes sense, and this is easy to tone down for adventures that you can handle. But
still,
nonetheless, it was still a more adult themed movie that made its way into an animated series.
You understand? Arnold Schwarzenegger was big in the 80s, you know, as you know, bodybuilding, working his way into the movies and stuff like that. And people loved everything that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in. And Conan, a lot of kids were like, "Yeah, I'm Conan now. I want to carry a sword." And plus, remember, the 80s had everything to do with swords. You had Thundercats, you had He-Man, you had all that stuff, you know. But yeah,
I still carry my sword.
I was always a bigger Beastmaster fan when I was younger.
Brucifer.
Listen,
you're better than that.
Yeah.
You're better than that.
You know,
sorry.
It's not a sword.
That was a bad influence.
It's a butter knife.
Want me to butter your biscuit, Dom? I can butter it.
Taste the biscuit.
Oh, last but not least, the weirdest to me was the Highlander animated series for some reason. It was weird. Styx, you actually own this.
So this one came out actually after the second Highlander, the horrible Highlander 2, where all of a sudden the Highlanders are from another planet.
Wasn't Highlander 2?
So it's kind of based on that movie where
Did Sean Connery come back? Like from the first one, he died, and then he comes
right.
back.
Yeah. They will him back to life using the quickening.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, it really is bad. I don't care what edition you watch. The director's cut, the Renegade version, whichever one you want. They're all horrible.
The Snyder cut.
The animation, I mean, if you consider the animation separate from everything, it's good.
If
but
you consider
not that
canon or not.
I remember this, man. I remember watching this.
The only thing I could think when I originally saw this was like, the movie's about cutting off people's heads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, How did they solve that problem? You guys were talking about that in the chat. How did they solve that problem?
Did you see it off screen?
Yeah, it's off screen.
It's an off-screen thing. You get the thunder, and lightning. You get the, and then quick cut, thunder, lightning, and I guess it's like just implied.
Sometimes you get like a shadowed figure where they kind of slump over.
But this one surprised me. I was like, oh, okay, this was a little weird. This was a little weird.
Said, this is, if you consider it separate from the movies, you're fine. Still not great, but I mean, the first one is great. The first Highlander movie is great. Second, the third one I like, and the fourth one wasn't that great either. And then, of course, you get the TV series, which is great.
Mario Van Peebles?
So. Yeah, Mario Van Peebles as a.
That was bad.
You didn't like that? I like that one. I like that.
This is a different McLeod in this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
in
is
the series, he was like
Quentin.
McLeod's cousin or something like that.
Well, this is Quentin McLeod.
This is Quentin McLeod. The TV series had Duncan.
The movies had Connor.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the reboot is better than the previous movies. That Henry Cavill. Let's go.
So for characters,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill is not going to be the Highlander, though.
So for beings that can't have children, for some reason, there's 3 McLeods.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like 3 of them are and Ramirez is in this one too. I think a little bit.
Yes, Ramirez is in this one.
The quickening is strong in my family.
And
My mother had it.
You're gonna have shirtless.
I could not tell watching this movie what time period it's supposed to be set in. Is it supposed to be in the far future? Is it supposed to be in the distant past?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
So the cartoon takes place on an alien planet. Like
Highlander,
Highlander 2 is kind
Look
of
at
based
the alien right there. They have like a little freaking animal.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's
the Quinard or something, whatever it's called.
They had a lot of weird animals. I just figured they were trying to just throw cute shit in.
They were trying to freaking take off of Josie and the Pussycats with bleep bleep.
Yeah.
No, you needed a snarf. You needed a snarf.
Snarf.
Looks like a bad Star Wars character.
Freaking Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. Come on, remember that?
What?
Bleep.
Pussycats in outer space.
Oh boy,
I'm so confused right now.
If you find this online, give it a watch. It's not horrible.
I think somebody said it's on Tubi.
Probably.
You can find all the episodes on.
Yeah,
if you're high as fuck and want
YouTube
something to watch on TV, give it a try.
Yeah.
Is it on TV? Okay.
I recommend the RoboCop if you're gonna watch something that's weirdly disturbing. The Toxic Avenger. The Toxic Avenger is weird.
Yep.
I'll just let you know it's weird.
I'm a huge Highlander buff. So.
I think Cosmic's making shit up. Biker Mice,
Biker Mice.
That's the real thing.
That's great.
I have,
God, I'm done.
I have comics of Biker Mice.
There's a comic book right there.
Yeah. Styx has the.
They're coming back. They're coming back.
They're coming back, baby.
Ryan
Biker Mice
Reynolds
from
is
Mars.
making a new cartoon.
Yep. Cowboys.
There's the one bad guy that always like sweated motor oil for some reason. That was Biker Mice. Mike from Mars was interesting.
Oh yeah.
I want them to bring Silverhawks back. Damn it!
The one cartoon I'd like to see back is Brave Star.
Oh, I love Brave Star.
I have some Brave
Galaxy
Star.
Rangers. Galaxies.
Or
no glory. Galaxy.
Cowboys from Moo Mesa.
That was a great. They had a cartoon.
Cartoon, video game, comic.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Some Brave Star.
Brave Star. They're coming out with a new toy. It's called the Marshall. They're making the.
What
Marshall.
is that? That's the
What comic is that?
That's the. It's not a comic.
It's a little Random House.
It's an activity book, right?
Yeah, it's a little Random House activity book.
I have one. I don't know if it's the same one or not.
Brave Star. Galaxy Rangers never had American comics, but they do have comics from Britain, like a 6-part issue of the series. Freaking Galaxy Rangers. If you're gonna look for those.
Pirates of the Dark Water. That got me mad because it was so good and they just ended it.
It was.
Are you talking Galaxy Trio, John?
No, Galaxy Rangers, man. They made Galaxy Rangers, and Brave Star came after Galaxy Rangers.
I remember the Galaxy Trio.
No, watch it. Freaking, it goes.
I'll vote for it. Okay,
no blood. There's no guts.
Yeah.
No red.
Oh yeah,
Come
I
on,
remember
man.
this.
If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to Rennavision and Kingdom of Nerds.
Hit that like button.
Please try to get
Which one?
good old Bruce up there to 1,000. He's getting very, very, very close. What are you, 90 away from 1,000?
93 away, which is awesome. Thank you guys. for all the
93 away
support.
from 1,000 subs. So get Bruce
About-
moving there. Like the video if you like this. Also, please feel free in the YouTube comments, offer suggestions. If there's spotlights you want to see or artists you want to see,
Exactly.
feel free to offer up suggestions. I'm always happy for suggestions because that's less work I have to do to
It
think of
helps us
things.
out, actually.
Can
Yeah.
you put me up? I want to show Dom something.
Jeepers, careful. Sensors. Get ready for the sensors.
Careful what you ask for, Dom.
20th anniversary Transformers Generation 1, including the movie, in Japanese. So, who's not a Transformers fan? Okay.
Dude, that's a.
All right over there.
You're not a Transformers fan. You
Yeah,
can add that,
shut your
man.
mouth over there. Let's
You didn't know
go.
what Transformers was
Come
until
on.
you actually sat home one day.
Takara.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
also, I have a show coming. It's called I Am the Damn Show, the whole damn show. So that's watch out for that.
The show won, so just be Dom talking to himself.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I
am
am
the
the show,
whole
the whole
damn
damn
show.
show.
Well, don't forget
I like it.
to
I like it,
you can
Dom.
hop over to CBSI, check out the Pete's article for the Hot 10
Mhm.
and the Outside Looking In, so you can read all that, all the write up he has about everything that showed up on the Hot 10 and the Outside Looking In. On Mondays, Bruce has his show over on Kingdom of Nerds. So hop in there. Wednesday.
I want to do a special show Sunday, probably like
Oh.
around 6 or 7. I want to spotlight all the solicitations from Marvel, DC, and do some FOC for you guys that like the FOC.
Yeah.
Dom.
And on
Yeah.
Rennavision, please don't forget to stop by and catch those wacky kids on S&S tomorrow night. You never know what may happen on that show. It's a good time. Friday, on Sunday, check out the Dark Side Boys for all the Star Wars stuff. They had a great artist on last week. So it's good stuff there to get your Star Wars Jones on. Then Wednesday, the Tack Boys, always entertaining. Friday, you're back around to here. You can watch the Hot 10, watch Bruce, and come back and watch the Qualified. So,
Come back and watch us.
Come back. We appreciate you all hanging out, sticking it out until it's a shorter show tonight, but that's okay because I'm sick and I'm not in the mood to have a long show tonight.
No, we can go for another hour. Let's go.
We're good. We're good.
But we do appreciate you all stopping by and hanging out with us all. I don't know what we'll have on tap for next week. We'll have to come up with some ideas. But like I said, I always love suggestions in the
Put it down in
YouTube
the comments.
comics. So again, for spotlights, any pop culture stuff you guys want to see, I'm always happy with suggestions because, we like doing the shows, but we like doing them for you guys out there that are watching. So we want to give you guys what you want. So if there's specific artists, characters, something like that, I'm sure we can find something to bore the shit out of Jedi with for another week.
You haven't failed me yet.
we aim to please. We like to be consistent. So thank you very much, everybody, for sticking by. Gentlemen, any final Friday words?
Have a good weekend and enjoy it. Don't get buried in the snow.
I'm going to see Beekeeper tomorrow, so hope that's good.
Oh,
Other than that,
Oh
That's
yes,
nice,
we might need a brief Jedi review of that next week because I definitely want to see that as well. I'm a sucker for a Statham movie.
Hey, I forgot to show this shirt off. This new Boba Fett shirt.
Oh, nice
James
little
Bond.
007 action.
James Bond.
Speaking of 007, if you didn't pick it up this week, Garth Ennis is writing 007 now. They just rebooted the series starting with
Nice.
issue 1. So Garth Ennis always seems to take something that shouldn't go too far and then multiply that by 10. So I'm interested to see how his 007 is. So that came out this week.
And just remember, chat audience, that there is no truth in any of Dom's words.
Yo, listen, you learn a lot more from me and you get smarter every day. Yes, I am the whole damn show, and no one can take that away.
We're going to need a whiteboard to set up every time Dom was proven true with his rumors and conspiracies. I know. At the end of the year, we'll give you your due and have have some type of 80s montage over some 80s style music.
There's some music playing. You just
every
watch
time you're right.
years. Through the years, I've always been right.
Oh, we love it. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for showing up this week. We will see you next week. Take care. Stay safe. Have a good one.